lost control, made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it then? Did you feel the same? Wonder where are you
La 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 la. Good morning and welcome to today's installment. We know what it is. Bathrobe moments. I'm excited. I love it when I have first time guests on here because they don't know what they're in for, right? So anyway, you guys know how it goes around here. So how are you? Welcome to today's show. I'm so excited to be here. Grateful, blessed, highly favored, all of the above. How about you? I'm your host, Loren Michaels Harris, and we got a great show for you today. You better believe it. Call a friend, send out a raven, do whatever you need to do, but you're going to want to share this one. Trust me. I have Dr. Robert Garcia in the house today, also known as, are you ready? The Warrior Strategist. That's right. He hangs out with people like Xena, the Warrior Princess, anybody with Warrior in their name. They got a club. Did you know that? I didn't. But anyway, yeah, it's true. So he's here today, going to give us a whole bunch of different stuff to talk about. But first of all, yesterday, let me tell you, yesterday, here, I need to turn my light up. I'm looking like Wesley Snipes. Shade. Not you get it. Oh my goodness, he played Noxeema Jackson. Remember that? Mm. So yesterday here in the Chicagoland area, minding our own business, working. My husband Brian, Dr. Brian, was upstairs on the phone doing telehealth with his patients and whatnot. And all of a sudden, this alarm goes up. I thought it was kind of dark outside. I'm not paying any attention. So he comes running downstairs. We got to go in the basement. We got to go in the basement. It's a tornado warning. Tornado warning. And I'm like, you know how they are. You know what I'm saying? But then on my phone, it was like an Amber Alert, but it was a tornado alert. All on the phone. So, yep, the whole neighborhood, everybody retreated. Oh, excuse me, sir, can we help you? Just kidding. That's my husband. Um, yeah, so it was pretty messed up. I was able to, hi honey, good morning. I was able to get everything in. But one of my great plants that I have, this big elephant ear thing out on our deck, one of the only one casualty, one leaf was is no longer with us. But everybody's safe, and that's the most important thing. I hope the weather in your neck of the woods was not nearly as drastic as it was here in the Chicagoland area, but it's safe. I didn't hear of any casualties, no cars thrown through windows and things like that. So I think we did pretty good. Also, sad night in our household last night. You know, we don't get to watch much television, and when we do, we watch those shows that we just can't live without. And one of them this season for us has been Queen Sugar. Yes, on the OWN network, Queen Sugar. We've been watching it, and it is finished for the season. And who knows when people are coming back? You know, ordinarily you can go, oh, it'll be 6 months or whatever. But with you know what, COVID, you know who, no, so we're praying for that. And I just want to say thank you and good morning to both of my sponsors for this month, the Emperor's Medicine and also Nikki's of Naperville. Love you guys. So I heard a ruckus out on the lawn earlier, peeked out the window, and this Dr. Robert Garcia was out there and later found out passing out $50 bills. That's how successful he is. Everybody in the neighborhood was lined up. So I hope he's finished. Is he done? Get him in. Did you bring any of that money in here?
I did not, Loren, but I love the fact that you know who Noxema Jackson is. That was my hardest laugh I've had all morning. I am not Miss Vita Bohem.
Oh, you do know the show. Yes. Oh, yes. Nice. Thank you for that. Where's my Bella Purpose? There's my Bella Purpose. Yeah, that's a standard thing here on the show. And for those of you out here who have been under a rock for 4 years, this is new to season 4. And it means that whenever our guest says something that is like, woo, woo, can I get an amen? Hey, that sort of stuff. I'm going to ring that bell. That's your chance to put some hearts on the screen. Also, to share the broadcast and invite a friend to have some fun with us. So, Dr. Robert Garcia, thank you so much. Now, because I've had, when did I? Oh, I had Dr. Mark a couple weeks ago, and I have another doctor coming up. Doctor, give me the news coming up on hopefully Friday. So you are a doctor, but you're not in an emergency room to speak, not particularly, but you are dealing with an emergency. Education is always an emergency. So you're a doctor of education, correct?
Yeah, I'm a former college professor and high school teacher.
Okay, and you're also Reserve Air Force. Woot woot. Thank you for that. So Robert Garcia, doctor, tell us how you got the name the Warrior Strategist, what you do for people every day, and then we'll dive on in and get started.
Sure. The Warrior Strategist is a brand name I came up with about 2 or 3 years ago when I was, like a lot of us, trying to find myself in business and who I wanted to be remembered as. And I was just having the toughest time for about a year or two, just kind of distinguishing myself from everybody out there. And then it just kind of came up. I combined execution and planning, like some of the things we learned in the military, like running ops, and then just came to fruition. We had a nice little logo with chess pieces and cross rifles, and it was pretty cool. So that was it.
Okay. Now where are you located exactly? I know you're on the West Coast because it was I heard a rooster crow when we were in the green room, so I know it's really early there. Where are you?
San Diego.
Oh, you're down in San Diego where everybody's an influencer, a marketer, an influencer. That's like the Mecca. I know because I was going out there speaking before you know who showed up. That bitch, Corona. I can't stand her. That really does sound like that. Corona, girl, get in here. So anyway, a lot of stuff happening down there, San Diego. So are you all up in all that down there?
I work from home full time, so really, I wasn't super active. I'd go to events once in a while, and I've met some cool people down here, but I'm pretty much a homebody.
So when you go out and you're walking around down there, we love that. We had our honeymoon there because where were we going, honey? That had a hurricane? Puerto Rico. We were going to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And the week before, you know what happened. So we went there and did not regret it. But there's so many people I know that are based there that are in the business in one form or another. Do you walk around down there and they're like, hey, warrior strategist, how are you? Do you get recognized on the street, Dave, Robert?
I was recognized actually at a veterans event in DC quite a bit. But other than that, in San Diego, I'm not that famous yet.
Do you do stuff with veterans?
Sometimes, yeah, I'm involved in a couple of veteran nonprofits, and I raised
Nice.
money for a homeless veteran last Thanksgiving.
Nice. Thank you for that. So, okay, last night you had some weird dreams. Anything you can share?
You ever have just an athletic dream where you're doing something crazy like running or fighting or something, and then you wake up and your muscles are just locked up?
No.
Okay,
The last thing I'm going to dream about is some exercise. You obviously haven't heard the truth. Some people think it's a rumor but I am definitely dealing with COVID-20. I got 10 of them over here and another 10 on this side. So I need to have those kind of dreams. Are you that active that you dream about? You look pretty fit.
I went running yesterday. I think that's what caused the problem. But yeah, I woke up today with a 2:30 in the morning, pretty severe muscle cramp. I was yelling.
So you were dreaming something that actually manifested into a muscle cramp, and you woke up. That's a horrible thing, too.
Yeah.
With those, was it in the calf?
Yeah, and I
Oh.
felt it coming on. Like you're laying there for 5 seconds and you know it's coming, and then it probably lasted 5-7 minutes. It was horrible.
Oh my goodness. Which feels really like an hour.
Yeah.
Wow. And tell us about how does a warrior strategist take us through a typical day? What time are you up and at it?
Usually I'm up at about 5:30, and first thing I do is I start up Rodrigo, my coffee maker, and I make a strange brew, Loren. 4 different blends. So I have Mexican espresso, cinnamon, nutmeg, some Folgers, and then some Dunkin' Donuts Mexican.
That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah,
Dunkin' Donuts.
So I mix it up, and it's a good kick in the morning. So
it is.
Yeah, when I'm doing the morning show, I am crazy for about an hour, and it's
Speaking of, yes, you have that coming up this morning. It's really convenient that it's the time difference, because your show airs at 8 a.m. and so does mine. But of course, there's a 2-hour difference. So you can be on a show like this and then sit on your own show in just a little bit. Let's talk about your first show, because you actually have 2. I heard a rumor that you host about 40 Facebook Lives a month.
Yeah. It's a great tactic for business owners to be as visible as possible. So that's one of the strategies. And Loren, you'd be surprised how many entrepreneurs don't use Facebook Live, especially on the older side of the ladder. They just don't see the value, or they're scared of being on camera.
Those old people. Oh, tell me about it. I don't know what their problem is. As I am a ripe young 58, just turned it last month, July 4th. Well, you're right though. I do have a lot of friends that are actually pretty intimidated about going live. I don't know why. I don't know why. But you help people get through that, show them the merit in that. What do you do?
So what I do is I usually have them go to my Facebook group, Success Engineers with Dr. Rob, and I have them do a live, and then we give them a very nice critique, and we just say, okay, this is what you did well, this is where you can improve. But I'm very delicate, and I teach them the art of speaking, how to be animated on camera and be fun, and then how to interact with people that are doing the comments in the chat. So that usually helps them, and then they can go off I push them out of the nest, and then they can do their own little thing.
I find it really interesting. I'm glad we're talking about this, because I actually know someone that could benefit from your help, because I've done everything I can with her. I've never experienced it with a person. I deal with a lot of people in my coaching who are pursuing speaking on from the stage, that sort of thing, or something where they have to get up in front of live people, which everybody's afraid of. Most people anyway. But I have this one client who, every time the live camera goes on, her voice goes from being a regular conversationalist into, hello, I am Rosie the robot. Welcome. Hi. Today, it's just uncanny. I even tried to trick her into, You know, it's just that when she thinks that thing is live. Now, if you're recording, now this is the interesting part. If I say we're just going to record something to watch back, no problem, just as smooth as you or I. But as soon as we say, okay, we're live, Cindy Brady with the red light. What is it? Have you ever had someone that is so intimidated about the live aspect? And I mean, what do you do? How do you help people get over that fear?
Well, I teach them, and this is pretty common, and I teach people that just to pretend there's someone sitting across from them, across the table, and to just have a regular conversation, and then to understand the first 2 or 3 things they're going to talk about, and then flow starts to happen. Because what happens is they're terrified of misspeaking on camera.
And right. And I think it's the extemporaneous portion. People are not, you know, off the cuff, if you will. And so they feel like everything needs to be regimented, lined out, storyboarded. Do you think that some of that has to do with how a person designs their everyday life?
Yeah. I think some people are good at planning and some aren't, and they need to understand that the spontaneity is the fun part of it. I have set my kitchen on fire once during a live. I had flame shooting from the pan to the roof. I have a picture of it. It's great.
Yeah, I bet your numbers were high, especially the replays. You got to see this. That's how things end up going viral. Absolutely. So Robert, with people, how important do you tell them being able to go live is for their business? Why is that so important, especially now with what we're dealing with across the board with COVID?
It's very important because for a number of reasons. First of all, you're creating a piece of content that can be repurposed numerous times. So when I do a wake up with a warrior, I'm going to grab that recording. I'm going to have this conversation. Then I'm going to pop that bad boy onto LinkedIn. I'm going to tag a few people. Then I'm going to, if it's a good training, I'm going to pop it onto YouTube as well. Then I'm going to recirculate the week after from YouTube or from LinkedIn. Then, oh, guess what? You can turn that training into a LinkedIn article. You can turn it into a blog. So once you have one video, you can turn it into 4 or 5 pieces of content. And then not only that, it's about reach, Loren. It's about getting out of what I call your business fishbowl, where the same 10 or 20 people are checking out your stuff, but not really buying from you. And I'm trying to turn it into an aquarium and then a SeaWorld, giant tank. And so I like analogies. And so
I do too. We'll get along fine.
And so Facebook Lives are a great way of attracting people that might never, ever check you out if you're being fun. That's how I found you. One day I just, Loren Harris is live. And I was like, what's this show? This is amazing. And I heard you speak and you were like fun and animated. And then we talked a little bit. We had some text chat. And then that awful Dom Fawcett, he did some post, and then that's how we reconnected. And I got on the show. I gotta go thank Dom pretty soon.
Yes, I just saw him doing something in the dark yesterday. Dom, yeah, Dom's a great friend. He's come to been a part of my Power of We symposiums, all of them, and also was the MC for the Next Impactor competition here in Chicago just a year ago this month. August 30th. I love Tom and Sophia, his wife. So that's great. That's great. Let me ask you. So here, I got 2 things for him to run past you. This is going to get good now. It's going to get really good. How important do you believe? Well, what's the difference? Views versus engagement. A lot of people think, oh, look, I got so many views, but they never part the curtain and stick their head in the room where the engagement is happening. Which do you feel is more important to the overall success of a brand? A bunch of views or a lot of engagement?
Oh, you're going to get me fighting people now, because everybody's got a passionate opinion on this topic.
I have one too.
For me personally, I'll say engagement, and I'll say it very confidently. And this is why. Because engagement takes you up the ladder of communication to an actual result, like a sale, a partnership, an opportunity, an interview. But a view is just a minute impression in time. You want engagement. You want to talk to people, pop it back in the algorithm, keep that conversation flowing. Hey, let's take it to a video chat. Let me see how I can help you today. So I say
exactly. I tell my clients every single day. And I'm gonna tell you, you know how I knew though? I can't take all the credit. Seriously. I'm gonna tell you, my husband will testify to this because I Honey, you remember the night before the Goldcast video came out and I told you what God told me about don't pay attention to the views? Yeah. The night before, or it was not, my Goldcast video debuted on Mother's Day. And so I think it was a Friday night I found out about it. And later that night or the next day, I heard what I believe to be my higher power, greater than me. I call him God, him, her, they. He said to me, a lot's going to happen. Starting Sunday, a lot's going to happen. But listen to me. Whatever you do, Loren, don't pay attention to the views. The views are the equivalent of someone running through your yard. They just pass by. They don't even know who really lives there half the time. They just cut through. It was a shortcut in most cases. But those numbers on the right, the engagement, the emojis, the comments, the shares, now that means that something you said or done has resonated with each and every one of those people because they did something that is a secondary action. They didn't have to, but they chose to. And that's because of something you've said or done. That's how you know what's landing and what isn't. And so ever since then, and I'm in my third year with having had that Goldcast, which has over 14 million views total right now. And there's probably, I think, 900,000 comments. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I need to be uplifted, when I need to be reminded, because you know how it is, Dr. Rob, even on our best days, some days we think that it's just not working. We forget about all the things we tell other people. And so I don't go and look at the views. I go and I start diving inside the comments because it's those people's voices that bring me back to where I should have never left from in the first place. And that's why I know the healing in our world, in our universe, never ends. It's like a giant circle. If you give it, what you're giving, if it's right, it's going to find a way back to you. It's going to find a way back to you, just like water flows. So I'm grateful for you for validating that. And so my next part of the question, that was a good one. You're one for one, one for one. The next thing is for you and what you do with people as a warrior strategist. Tell me your definition of the term new normal.
Whew, new normal. That's a great question. A new normal, my definition is the what is societally accepted. So what the group is viewing as day-to-day, everyday actions or acceptance, and it's not always in your best interest to follow it. Now think about that, because in some cases it's good to be a disruptor, and in other cases it is good to use common sense and listen to people.
Ooh, you said a mouthful there. You did, for real, because I know when the pandemic started, if some people jumped too fast. They were leading everybody over here too soon. And then a couple months into it, it was like, no, come back, you know, and you're absolutely right. So let's say comparatively, this hand is right now in your business and the kind of people, the mindset of the people you have today. How different is your hand now, what you're holding, compared to last year? Exactly this time last year, before the pandemic. Have you seen a bunch of people changing how they think about what entrepreneur means and what they feel they can do? Because a lot of people went home on furloughs and stuff, and they're not going back. I know companies that, why are we paying all that rent? I didn't know we could get away with this. Man, we could have been saving all this a lot. So talk about that if you could.
Sure. Great topic too. So what's happening is entrepreneurs, I feel, were in a better place when this happened. Like me, I didn't have a restaurant job to lose, or
Right.
Parking cars or whatever.
Right.
Like my retail Macy's didn't close. I had to work a little harder than usual, but I wasn't in an emergency. And so entrepreneurs are the evolved version of the standard 9 to 5, and they kind of need each other. So here's what's happening, Loren. There's this giant shift of a certain sector of retail and restaurants that are just done for a while. And so you have a lot of people that are out of work and a lot of people staying at home if they are working. So it creates a couple of shifts. The biggest shift is a lot more home offices, a lot more deliveries, and Amazon and delivery drivers are just going nuts right now hiring people, because everybody, nobody knows how to cook. So we're all just ordering food. I know what
Excuse
I do,
me.
yeah.
Speak for thyself. You haven't been on my page. Oh, yes. Look, hey, I didn't get this from eating air. I can cook, but I
Good.
get it. A lot of people cannot because they were always too busy.
Right. Right. And so what this does, Loren, is this closes some industries and it opens up others. And so this actually led to a revenue stream for me because what I did is I said, okay, Rob, how have I made money in the past? Well, teaching. What do people need right now? Well, they need income streams from their computer, from home
Multiples.
to supplement. So I created this program called Design Your Paycheck. And following my good friend Desislava Dobriva's example, I made it a membership site and I teach courses, ebooks, consulting packages, virtual events. I have about 15 income streams now, just teaching how I created courses. And I did make a course that broke 25,000 in sales. And so I'm just showing everybody how to do it. It's very affordable. And I feel like it's the answer for all these people that are unemployed.
Wow, that's great because that was I'm just gonna say, I know, yes, it's like, sometimes I feel like I don't know what that is. I need to get over that. I feel like when I say, yep, I've been saying it all along. I shouldn't feel bad about saying what I've always said because the great thing about that is look, proof that the truth never changes.
Yeah.
The truth today, we didn't have to wait for a pandemic to be thinking certain ways. Certain things are just obvious or should be, I feel. Now, but sometimes I feel like that guy, bring out your dead, bring out, like I should be like, but I'm not. And what I'm getting at is I've always said to people, doesn't it make sense to have multiple streams of income? When you think about Virgin, he had, multiple streams of income. Everybody, Oprah, multiple streams of income. Trump, multiple streams of income. Everybody that is done and gone, Kennedy family, multiple streams of income. Yeah, they were all liquid, still multiple bourbon, whiskey. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But the purpose is get past the obvious to the procedure, And the reason I don't know what it is, I know what it was for me. And I'm going to turn this over and you can tell me what you think. I'll tell you why that was intimidating. Not scary, but intimidating to me before I jumped over the threshold and just said, hey, I can do this. It was this. It was like, man, that means that if I have multiple streams of income, I'm going to have multiple books to keep. That means that I'm going to have multiple taxes. That means that I'm going to have all the things that I cringe about, the things that aren't so fun about being in business. But there's also a way. Now, tell me what you think about this, because I tell people this in my country. I say, when you have multiple streams of income, don't look at it like, here's one and put it down. It stands all by itself. Here's another, put it down, and it stands all by itself. I add multiple streams of income to my world that are relatives. They're all cousins in some way or another. This is why they're like cards in my hand. I put them that way. When I do my social media, I can tie, for instance, I just posted the thing for tomorrow's show. Well, on the right, it has Bathrobe moments. In the middle, it has my guest. And to the left, did you say I just said to the right and went to the left? To the left, it has Bathrobe moments. In the middle, public school. Had my guest in the middle. And on the right, it has my Power of We Symposium. I don't have a Power of We Symposium coming until the spring of next year. But I keep the brand in front of people. So everything I do, I look for, okay, come on over here, cousin so-and-so. Come over here, cousin course, cousin coaching, cousin book, whatever. Because they're all similar. They all have something from the same gene pool. So tell us how do you get people to understand and say, okay, that's not so scary. I can do this.
You're asking such good questions today, seriously, because this is something that really freaks people out. What you're talking about is organizational business structure. And so if you have a business brand, put them under that umbrella. If you have a personal brand, me, you, then you put it under the personal umbrella. So I have Rob the Warrior Strategist, and under Rob the Warrior Strategist, I have the Tactical CEQ Growth and Visibility course. I have books I've written on speed learning, and I have sales from printed out business guides. So all these are my income streams, but they all fall vertically under Rob the Warrior Strategist.
Yes, like a paint strip.
Yep. And if people aren't sure how to do this, just get out a piece of paper and just draw it out. And so tax structure is a lot more simpler than they think. It all falls under personal income. You just keep track of your stuff, and you don't have to have some complex entity. You're not running a corporation.
Right.
You know? Keep it easy.
Right. Right. And the thing I like about that mindset, because it is a mindset, is that it creates momentum in a much stronger, congruent, and understandable way. At least it does for me. And trust me, I have a high school diploma. That's it. I'm not Dr. Rob. But the thing about it is, that's the wonderful thing about entrepreneurship. It is the great equalizer.
Mhm.
It's the great equalizer, from the mom who can push out baked goods from her kitchen until she has to go to a Mrs. Fields in the mall when they're closed and use their kitchen, until she can buy her own facility, and then she ends up inside vending machines in schools all over the country. Next thing you know, she's in grocery stores, and next thing you know, she's got cookbooks and a TV show. Hello, Paula Dean. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you don't know until you go, and that's what people are afraid of. This is how it works in the world, the universe. First of all, you have to have confidence in order to move forward. Take a chance. Try something. So you go. Now you go in, and they always say, "Oh, well, keep your eye on the prize at the end of the tunnel, or whatever, the light at the end of the tunnel." You are the light in the tunnel. It's going to light up because not every tunnel goes straight. They have twists and turns and all that. So the light better be just like a miner. You keep the light on them. They are the light. Now, who are you going to follow? Somebody that goes in a tunnel every day to work, or some cliche? I prefer the person that goes in and comes out alive. He keeps his light right here. He is the light that he takes. He takes his own light in there, right? So you go. Now you know what it's like in there. You get through whatever it is. As soon as you get through it, you go, you come out, you have an R and a W. You went in with the G and the O because you go. You come out, now you have the R and the W. G-R-O-W. Go, then you grow. Now you know something. Hey, I'm an authority because I just lived that. I don't care if it's because you have 14 divorces. You can be an authority and show people and do everything you just held up. Write a book, have business things, all this stuff, showing people how not to have a bad relationship. You can show people what a bad relationship looks like. I would know. I've had 8 wives. You see what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you go through, it's to establish you, give you a foothold into something you can say, I'm an authority. Go, grow, know, and then you get the best part of all, which is when you know you're in the arm's purpose, you get to show others. You want to give it away just as soon and as quickly as you can. So tell us about how people move through your programs and some of the best, talk about give us your greatest joy as far as why you do what you do. What did you see somebody do and you went, see, I knew it.
It's at the very core, Loren, I'm an educator. And so I love teaching people tactics and techniques in business that instills confidence. So, for example, a veteran woodworker came to me a couple years back, and he was a good friend, and he'd had this amazing wood shop. He made all these great products, cutting boards, furniture, and he'd never had any media coverage. He'd never had any type of really big visibility, but he had a perfect business, profitable, but he just didn't have a lot of people. So I wrote up his story. I submitted some press releases to media. We got him in the local paper, and he said that within a couple of days he got 6 months of orders. He had to take out a loan to expand his wood shop. Then, when he had an event at the wood shop, I got him on the local CBS affiliate in one day.
Wow!
So I changed the actual direction of his life just by reaching out to media on his behalf, because that's my skill set.
Right.
So
wow.
Yeah.
So that must have been just and what is okay? Here's another great question, if I say so myself. Because I know don't tell people this. For me, one of the most frustrating things in what I do as a coach is, and my birth mom told me this on her deathbed. She said, "You're going to be sad. God has shown me where He's taking you, and there are a lot of days you're going to feel low and sad and all alone." I said, "What?" And she goes, "Don't worry, it's worth it." She goes, "Because again, I'm going to tell you, God has shown me where He's taking you, and here's what it is. You will oftentimes, Loren, find yourself having greater expectations for others than sometimes they have for themselves. You know what I'm talking about? When you can see that, come on, now you're this close, so and so. I know you can do this. And they just don't see it. It's very frustrating. Do you ever deal with that? And how do you turn that around? Or do you sometimes just have to walk away until they're ready?
No, my mindset is 40% of my work with my clients. And I encourage them to visualize the most powerful version of themselves. If their business was running at 3 times the revenues, what would that look like? What do they look like? What actions are they taking? Are they creating a team? Are they taking more time to strategize? What does that look like? So, because you're right, people have natural fears and natural limitations, sometimes from their younger days, or from maybe they've had somebody that didn't believe in them and kind of beat them down so they don't have any confidence anymore. My job
Right.
as a career strategist is to reach out and say, hey, you are powerful. You are going to just take over the world. I'm a high school
Yes.
dropout turned PhD. I will lead.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot that about you. Right. It's never too late. Ringing that bell. Get yourselves some hearts on the screen, people. Listen, we're going to run off for just a minute or two. And we're going to, there's your instructions. Call to action. Show our guests some love and hit those hearts, won't you please? When we return, we're going to talk more about these programs. We're going to talk about, we're going to get some clues, some tips, some breadcrumbs to drop from a warrior strategist, Dr. Robert Garcia, that you, me, all of us, we can use to enhance whatever it is we're already doing, or to start what we should have been doing yesterday and just haven't started. We're going to get to the core of all that when we come back. Don't go away. We'll see you in just 2 minutes.
That's why I love Charles and Rose.
Simon, I think you're so handsome.
Rosie, you are a little minx, aren't you?
Thank you, Simon.
They're hysterical. I don't think they're trying to be hysterical.
Viva Las Vegas!
Da, 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 da. Sounds like you're in an elevator going up to the dentist. Listen, welcome back to today's show here in Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Loren Michaels Harris. Did you see that? Tomorrow night, right here on Bathrobe Moments After Dark, 7 p.m. Central, Rose and Charlie Hill. Rose and Charlie were featured on America's Got Talent, went on to do the Legend Show in Las Vegas. Rose is an Oscar-nominated makeup artist, worked with tons of stars over the last 25 years, and they'll be here tomorrow night to share their story, their purpose. They're going to shock you with what they really are doing to make this world a better place. You just never know. And so let's get the good doctor back in here. Hi, Dr. Rob. Welcome back. I have say something.
Hello?
Okay. I was like, how come I don't hear anything? But I do now. I've grabbed my pen. I'm going to ask the folks out there to grab their pens. And thanks each and every one of you who are watching, and those of you who will watch the replay. I love you and thank you for sharing a part of your life with me today, right here on Bathrobe Moments. Now, we're going to get some tips from you, and let's start with what would the top three? What are the first three things you ask people who come looking, sniffing around your world, saying, "Hey, warrior strategist, help me fix this." Because this is a million different things. But usually, there's three things, two things, one thing that can start the process for anything. And what from your world are those?
The first thing is to start using the power of lists. And this is advice I've never heard anyone give, and it's my own, might be my own creation, but
Okay.
I keep lists, and I'm going to give you three good ones to start tracking. Your super fans online. So the people that are really like checking out your stuff and always commenting and sharing your content, because you want to create rewards for them. You want to, maybe give them a call or, do something to reward them for their efforts. But the super fans are almost like your hype men, your Flavor Flavs, your promoters,
Correct.
They keep you visible. So that's the first list. The second list is the VIP list. And Loren, you're on my VIP list. And so when you see certain people that have it going on, that are successful, that are visible, that you want to be like, write down their name, and then you reach out to them and you create that bond. So that's your second list, is your VIPs. And then your third list is people you want to have a call with to create those business connections. So people that can advance you, because I've found that people are either ladders or anchors. And so you want ladders. You don't want people that are going to drag you down, have negative attitudes, and just exhausting. You want people that you want to emulate, that are going to help you, whatever. So that's the first tip, is the power of lists. Because I track a lot of people. I don't have any software for my CRM. I track every project. I track every person I'm working with, all this stuff. But I'm old school. I use paper and pencil. And so lists help me out tremendously. I love it. Yeah.
That's my wall of purpose. Look. Right. Because exactly. I like to keep stuff right in front of me.
But do you know
what I mean?
Do you know what you're doing, Loren? Is you're leading thousands of people globally. And a lot of people don't understand that with that responsibility comes, you have to keep track of it. You can't just wake up and expect to remember all of it. You have to have it easily accessible. So I have I have notebooks and papers, all kinds of stuff right next to my computer.
And now let me say something about that, because every year, let me show you. People used to give me these. I keep them right here as a reminder because I recycle them. These are all what you're talking about, journals and whatnot that people have given me. And they're just as crispy as the day. All of them have at least one thing on the front page, because I always say, well, maybe this will be the year. And, but you know what? Because of me. And I'm going to just say this. See, you're honest with yourself. You know that works. You know that you can reach for that journal. You can reach for that booklet or whatever, that notebook, and know exactly. And you're going to be diligent. Me, I'll do that first day, and that thing will sit there for another 364. But the reason I had to say, okay, that doesn't work for Loren, but what would? Well, because I know that I don't want my content, and here it is, and then I'm going to turn it back over. I don't want my content because it comes to me on its way through me. It's never mine. Jesus, take the wheel. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to get it lost. I don't want it falling in the cushions, in the cracks. I don't want it to end up in the junk drawer of my world. So I don't put it where it can end up, with a whole bunch of stuff on top of it or slip inside of something. I know one thing, Robert. I have never stuck a Post-it note on top of another Post-it note. Yeah, so that's why that's my process. So I think you're right. List, and each person find the one that works for them. Some people can do the digital thing, and it works for them. So I agree with that. So your first thing is the power of list, and it is power. That's the key word. I know a lot of people thinking list. No, power. Anything that has power. That's why my nonprofit is the power of we, because there is a power. People take that word and they hear, oh, heard that 100 times. Okay, keep playing. Power of list. Give us another one.
The second one is to develop an income stream either for yourself or for your business. And the first three, I always tell people in this order: consulting calls, short ebook, mini course.
Consulting calls. Okay, second,
Short ebook.
short ebook.
Just a little starter, like 10 pages.
Okay. And three?
And then 3 is a mini course, like a 5-day email sequence or just a couple videos on a PDF, just something simple you don't have to charge a lot of money for. And so the reason is, Loren, is that most of us have something that they can turn into informational content or they can teach on. And so like a lot of us, and I'm sure you understand this, you have people hitting you up all the time for free advice, right? Hey, can I pick your brain? Can I ask you some stuff? And so what I found is you want to, and this changed the game for me completely. You want to give away what, and you want to sell how.
Ooh. Give away what? Sell how? Oh,
My income went way up.
that's a book.
Yeah.
That's a book title.
I love it. Because I started to understand, Loren, the value of certain information. And so let's say when I'm writing an ebook, a lower priced ebook is going to be like a subject or just about a topic, something like that. Medium price, maybe a resource or list or something like that. And then the highest priced ones, the ones that over $100 are strategy, rare, tech. So you got to understand the value of information. And so if people hit you up and they want to pick your brain or they want to ask you stuff, if they ask what, I'll get on the phone all day and tell them about what they might try.
When they start talking about how,
I send them an invoice. Yeah.
Love it. Now, I want to there's so much, and I'm thinking at the time. Consulting calls, short ebook, mini. Oh, here it is. I knew it was. I almost had a senior moment. It was a junior moment. So I got it right when it was going around. Get back here. Trying to leave my mind. Let me shut up before it really gets away. There's a difference, and I want you to talk about that real quick because I think it's important, ethically, morally. Because a lot of people here, get this, get that. Here's your free this. Here's my free that, and it's 0-calorie content. It's diet content.
Right.
It's there because it's called all under the auspices of lead magnet. And it's a lead magnet, all right. But what's it leading people to? Jumping off a cliff that's going nowhere? Leading them to the slaughterhouse? So how do people know? Because I know I just go with my first mind. With me, the first mind is connected to the creator. It's second stuff. That's why it's called second guessing. When I talk myself out of that natural pool into something that, so-and-so said, nuh-uh, that's just me. But what do you tell people is the best compass, barometer, litmus test, if you will, to be able to ascertain the forest from the trees? Because not all money is good money, and not all content is good content. How do you know which one of the magnets to lead you?
Reputation of the provider to start with. Because I know that some people are just throwing out, I check my email box. I mean, every single day it's someone giving away something that's awful. And then you look at somebody reputable, like, do you know who Pat Flynn is? Smart Passive Income. Anyway, great podcaster, very successful.
Flynn.
There you go. So Pat Flynn, he gave away an entire checklist about starting a podcast and monetizing, getting sponsors. And it was beautiful. Like he had it professionally designed. So, and that was client level stuff. And so that's what Pat does because he has a great reputation. And he's a leader in his industry. So once in a while, you'll get something that is gold. Like I have a folder on my desktop and it's just the best freebies I get because some of them are garbage and some of them are just hastily put together to try and upsell.
Right. And even about you.
Right. And a strong brand though, somebody that's got a real good brand will have something what I call demonstration of power. So once or twice a month, I will get on Facebook. I will find somebody I don't know that's an entrepreneur and I will demonstrate what I do. So I'm like, okay, so-and-so, you live across the country in Georgia. Here are the 3 news stations around you. Here are the reporters' names. Reach out to them with this angle. This is how you're going to get on TV. And then I'll write about them. I'll have some links to buy, and I will just hook them up. And I do that, Loren, as a demonstration of power. It's like a baseball pitcher just getting out there and just throwing fastballs. Just showing.
I can show you better than I can tell you. Mm,
So about
wow.
once a
That's
month.
another book. That's all. Here's another book you just threw out there. Demonstrate, boy. Wow. Wow. Because a lot of people. Let's break it down. Just one more phase of the paint strip, if you will. Reputation. Now, a lot of people get placement, or they're used to seeing or hearing this name, and they think that means that's synonymous with reputation. Visibility. Is visibility and reputation synonymous?
No, and I'm gonna really, really tear off the Band-Aid on this
Tear
one.
it off.
There's a lot of people out there who are a lot more popular than they are talented. Now, I want you to really think about this, because especially in the guru world and the influencer world, you have to ask yourself, am I following this person because they spend a lot on their Facebook ads and they're making 200 pieces of content a day?
Or standing in front of luxury cars every week.
Oh yeah,
I'm
lifestyle.
just saying. You know what I'm saying? I can't. People get duped, and I go like, "Come on now."
Or are they out there actually promoting someone they worked with, or talking about a client study where they changed someone's life, or some kind of result that they created? That's the ones you want to pay attention to.
There you go. There you go. I look at it like this. I don't even go to people's websites and stuff to get that credibility piece. Because the thing is, that's like resume. We can make that look like anything we want. But SEO, when you Google somebody, they don't have control over that.
Right.
They don't have control over that. So that's where I go. And then if it's going to be a testimonial, I'm not getting it from your website. I'm getting it from, I'll ask right on Facebook. Does anyone know about who's your favorite? And Joshua T. Berglund just did something like that yesterday. And it's got like 300 comments already where he's saying, promote someone you trust.
Mm-hmm.
And that, and why? And I thought that was a brilliant move, because I'm in there really paying attention to that now, because trust is a real big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm a lot more interested in client results than I am in your ads.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's turn the corner if we could. And I'm going to throw something out. I want your take on it, because I think you're one of the most brilliant guys I've ever had on this show. And that's true. I'm serious about that. I believe, and I teach this in my coaching to people. Because first thing I do is help them understand how important it is to start identifying words that deceive in their world. Because if I don't know the power of what I am putting out, and I will not understand that same power when someone is trying to send it in. So, for instance, the strangest thing happened today. Ain't it weird, Robert, how every time I'm thinking about you, you call? I can't believe it's too good to be true. This coffee, good as hell. All these little things, because it leads us to believe that when our blessings come, our accomplishments, things that we've truly earned, whether we realize it or not, we don't understand where they originate. We toss it up to luck, coincidence. That's what those, and words deceive. It's a real thing. They jump in between words 1 and 7, right before the truth. I always tell people it's like when you see a marching band going down the street, those people carrying the banner, the Vikings are behind me. That's what the words that deceive do. They jump in front of the rest of the band, because they know if they can distract you, you're going to forget all about everything that's behind. Now comes the truth. So I always tell people one of the biggest assassins running around your world of verbal abilities is the little word TOO. People, because that's the first thing they'll throw out there. Well, come on, why don't you? Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, that's too much. Oh, that's just too much. Even when it's a blessing. Oh, no, I can't accept that. It's just too much.
Yeah.
What the hell? You know what I'm saying? So I want you to talk about that. Do you step? I look at words like that like landmines.
Mm-hmm.
In my field of purpose, there can be landmines, and I planted them, whether I believe it or not. So two, to me, is a little word that's a huge assassin of dreams. Do you have anything in your? Let's talk about your personal development in the last 5 minutes here. What do you do to make sure you are bringing the world not 0-calorie content, but the very best Dr. Rob Garcia / the Warrior Strategist possible?
Well, I'm constantly self-educating. So whether I'm reading business books or something I purchased from another entrepreneur, I make sure that I'm trying to learn something or a skill every single week. This is my bookshelf, and this is my equivalent of my Post-its. This is right in front of my computer. So this is my project board.
See,
Got my books, top to bottom. So every week for at least an hour, Loren, and often more, I will go somewhere with a backpack of books and I'll just read and take notes. And so I've always been a fan of autodidactic learning, which just means teaching yourself stuff. I taught myself how to do the magazine. I taught myself how to self-publish 8 books. And all it is a matter of learning how Google works and learning to put together processes to get better at your skills.
okay, and on the screen, everyone, is that bridge. That's the connector for you to continue this dialogue with Dr. Robert Garcia, also known as the Warrior Strategist. Your next level of success.com. I suggest you write it down, take a screenshot, get it tattooed, whatever you need to do, just use it, okay? Because when you don't use it, you abuse it, because it was an opportunity that one day will be presented to you as a lost or missed opportunity. All you have to do, people, is when you see things like this, don't just assume, step over the threshold of possibilities. Look, take it from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, corner to corner. Just go in there and look in all directions. If you do that and it doesn't feel right for you, then walk your ass back out. But if you go in there and you do that 9 out of 10 times, there's something that life has laid around as a clue that this is for you. That's how it works. Now, Robert, I also know for that you're single. And so we have taken it here at Bathrobe Moments upon ourselves to provide you with the link so you can leave the show today and go right and apply for the Bachelor. So this is it, bachelornation.com, for you to get on the Bachelor, because I know they want you. And I'm just saying, it's just an idea. You know what I mean? Because I'm just kidding with you. But I just want to say, I'm going to leave this up here, even when we're out of here as the show is closing. This will be on the screen. Why? Because no one can do anything with an opportunity if you don't know about the opportunity. And you can't use that excuse anymore because it's right there on your screen. Now what? Okay. In closing, here's your Jerry Springer moment. Take us out with, if everybody, let's do this. If everybody were to get some type of instant amnesia and forget everything that you and I have talked about today, except for one thing, what would that one thing be that you extrapolate and say, here you go, take this with you?
Spend a lot of time thinking about your purpose. Really find yourself, find why you were placed on this earth. My mom had a crack addiction. I failed out of high school. I failed out of 2 colleges. Today I have a PhD because I found my purpose to teach.
I got chills from my elbows to the tip of my neck right here. And wow, I didn't know what to expect today. Because I got up and I did my research. I did a little bit over the weekend, peeked into your world, and it didn't even come close. Last night on somebody else's page, oh, you were one of those people. Remember I said that list that Joshua Berglund asked who influences you and why? Excuse me, I was going to write the woman's name down to tell you who she was, because she must be a super fan. I'm going to find it and I'm going to send it to you. I know her last name started with a T. You were on that list.
Wow.
You were on that list, Robert Garcia. And I said, and I even typed in, it's on my show tomorrow. So I'm just saying, man, sometimes we don't know what we don't know, in many cases. But I want you to know, if nothing else, that I know that I was chosen to be in your life today, and hopefully for a lot longer, to let you know that what you're doing is simply incredible. That you are anointed, you are highly favored, you were chosen, and the greatest part of all is that it's obvious that you have done the hardest part of all, which is you have chosen in return. That's all we have to do. Many of us, all of us are chosen, but it's a few of us who choose in return. It's got to be your idea, or it's not going to work. Thank you, Dr. Robert Garcia, also known as the Warrior Strategist. And now we know why. You have what I call the turnstile invitation, which means you can come back to the store anytime you want. Just let me know.
Thank
you.
More.
Thank you. Have a blessed day. Keep doing what you're doing. And I just had a great time today. I hope you did as well.
It was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody, Dr. Robert Garcia, the warrior strategist. I'm going to leave this up on the screen. We're out of time. Meet me here tomorrow. Antonia Williams. Wait till you meet this poet. She has written 3 books since the age of 16. I think she's 18 or 19 right now. And she's going to put some stuff out there tomorrow that's going to make your skin just go, woo, goosebumps all over. Just like Dr. Robert Garcia did today with his new business. Get in touch with him. If you got a business, if you want a business, if you had a business, whatever it is, if business is just living for you, yournextlevelofsuccess.com is where you need to go. Thank you all. Have a blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, all you have to do is get up when you wake up, when your eyes open, your feet hit the floor. Let your feet take you to the nearest reflective surface, a pot, a pan, a mirror, a piece of glass that's clear, whatever it is. If you can see yourself in it, guess what you just did? You've seen the first blessing. Because when you see the blessing, you now have opened the door to be the blessing. I'm Loren Michaels Harris, and I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.